And we're back, people. We are totally back. Your favorite sports podcast roaming the airwaves, Rolling with Ramos, is back. I happen to be the one that holds the last name Ramos. I would like to specifically thank my daddy for that one, Mike Ramos in heaven. I love you. I miss you every day. I made it back to DC. How you feel about that? Episode 148. And yes, I'm in a new location. We're no longer in Connecticut. Welcome to my new dig, back in the nation's capital, back home where the mumble sauce and the heart is. I'm living the dream. I'm back on the metro. It's moving. If you've seen me, yes, it was me. I was on the red line. I've been on the yellow line. You've probably seen me on the blue. I've been floating all around. It feels so good to be home. Speaking of home, Tristan, I'm looking at your face. What's up? Lunch you owe me.
Yeah, I got you. Welcome back. Welcome back to the hometown. And we'll definitely have to catch up on lunch since now that you're back now. So we'll definitely make sure that we do that. It's good to be back on the show. It's been a minute, but transitioning and doing everything. So we're here now.
Episode 148, Tristan. Can you believe when I called you a couple years back, we'd be pushing two more to 150? Oh man,
It's crazy, crazy.
the Jimmy Johnson edition, not to be confused with Dallas Cowboys Jimmy Johnson, but we're talking about the number on the car because we got to talk about NASCAR. Episode 148, the Jimmy Johnson edition. Speaking of the home team, as we go right into things, we talk about last night, we talk about Thursday night. Football is back. Okay,
Hmm.
we're just in time for the gridiron. If you enjoyed week one, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Tristan enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it. But last night, Thursday night football. First, before we do that, we pay homage to 9/11. Shout out to the Yankees. Shout out to Mike Piazza and that home run. Shout out to every team in DC because it's a lot going on in New York. We understand the World Trade Center. I've been down there. I saw the monument and everything they got going for that, the tribute. That was amazing. Shout out to everyone that lost his lives. But we also got to shout out the Pentagon and everything that happened here in the nation's capital. And it's been a long time. It's crazy to live in history to the point where you could say that you actually saw that happen.
Yeah.
That's shout out to all those people that lost their lives. Shout out to how sports brought America together and made us actually believe in America again and that we were strong. So shout out to everyone in 9/11. Yesterday, the Pack, Green Bay. It wasn't cold that night, but it was snow flurries on DC, okay? The
Hmm.
Packers 27, the Commanders 18. I don't know how in the hell the score ended up being this because as much as it was, you would have thought that it would be more of a massacre than it was. Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels, 24 42, two touchdowns, 200 yards, seven carries on the ground, 17 yards. Zach Ertz, six receptions, one touchdown, 64 yards. Debo Samuel, seven receptions, 44 yards, one touchdown. Jordan Love, where everything was lovely for him last night, 19 to 31, 292 yards, two touchdowns. He had three carries on the ground for 12 yards. Josh Jacobs, 23 carries, 84 yards, one touchdown. Tucker Craft, and you get Green Bay, they know for some cheese. You like cheese on your macaroni and cheese. Kraft was doing some big stuff there. He put Kraft back on the mat. And anyways, Tucker Kraft, six receptions, 124 yards, one touchdown. We can't forget about Michael Parsons and what he's been doing since his time in Green Bay.
Yep.
Strong opening statement for the Green Bay Packers to the rest of the league, if you want to say that. They couple this win, Tristan, with their 27-13 victory over the Detroit Lions last Sunday, and they have already have wins over two playoff teams from last season. It feels good, Love said. We couldn't have started the season off on a better note. It's a thing we've just got to keep building on, but it feels great right now. The Packers, Tristan, have won their last seven home matchups with Washington, which hasn't beaten the Packers on the road since a 2017 victory at the Milwaukee County Stadium in 1988. Well, damn, was I I was just being think of. I was coming around the corner. Washington's last win at Lambeau Field was a 16-7 decision in 1986. So much history between these teams because both Lambeau and Vince Lombardi, they spent some time in D.C. Who knew? Tristan, before we get into the game itself, we didn't have a chance to talk about the trade of all trades that happened before the season that caused so much controversy. I'm surprised Dallas looked that good with all the things they had going on. If there's anybody that knows how to play with so much of a media circus going around them, it sure is the Dallas Cowboys. Your thoughts on Michael Parsons, his move to Green Bay from Dallas, how it was done, and your thoughts on that trade, the trade itself, only the trade itself, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Um, I I remember when I got the notification. I thought it was a joke, and I thought it was a joke when it came across my phone. I couldn't believe it because we've seen this before. We've seen Jerry kind of play around, and try to toy with people and make money. But I had told people before. I said, man, listen, this is a new generation of cats. They not going like that. Like, you play with them if you want to, but if they gonna find an exit, they'll find an exit. And for them to ultimately trade, I mean, we still got to see how it pans out. But in my mind, I feel like you made Green Bay an instant Super Bowl favorite, let alone getting into the NFC Championship game by doing this, because people forget Green Bay's defense was already pretty good, and they already had a star on that side in Rashawn Gary. Now you done put Michael Parsons with him, and you see how it looks. In regards to Dallas, I just don't think this is a move he really have to hit. I told someone before, I said, the only way that you can make this work or make it make sense to the fans is if the picks that you've accumulated from this trade pan out to be all pro players, borderline gold jacket players, because that's the trajectory that Michael was on. You can't go any the players that you get, their attachment is these are Michael Parsons picks. That's it. When you did the Herschel Walker trade, Emmett, some of those linemen were part of that, and then it panned out. You got 3 Super Bowls out of that. You have to be on that kind of tier with this Micah trade. So we're not going to know maybe 2-3 years down the line whether the trade made sense or not. Yeah. But we can know this season, if Green Bay ends up going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, we're going to know that this made a difference, i.e. like what the Giants did with Saquon, sending Saquon. Well, they didn't even do a trade. They just let Saquon sign over to the Philly, and then you see what happened. So it's a big gamble. It's a gamble I don't think is in the Cowboys' favor. Yeah. And I told people when I saw what he did to the Lions, I said, that is not an aberration. That's what we're going to be looking at.
When we spoke about how personal this was, during the game last night, they had asked him for a statement. He said it's crazy being a part of something, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's crazy being a part of something where you thought people actually believed in you, and then you're shown afterwards that they actually didn't believe in you. When it comes to, you spoke on this previously, but when you talk about how personal this is and how hurt you can hear it in his voice when he talks about the Cowboys. Personally, I don't know why you guys want to be Cowboys, and then this is what happens to you. You get disposed very quickly. But when you hear about how personal it still is, the taste of it, the grieving process for Michael Parsons is from having to leave Dallas. Even in talking about Luka and wanting to reach out to Luka and get his thoughts about life after leaving Dallas, because he's adjusting. Even though he's from Pennsylvania, Green Bay's almost the same. You can still hear that this, even though this is what he had to do, this is not what he wanted to do. Talk about how personal this was in his relationship with Jerry and his relationship with Jerry.
Well, I didn't know to what degree it was severed until I started hearing the candidness from Micah. And I think the problem is that Jerry for so long has had this thing in his mind that the players, for lack of a better term, like kind of fall in line and do what you are paid to do.
Yeah.
And he's like the the papa, the grandfather, whatever. The problem is these players of today, excuse me, this is what happens when you have a 4-year-old. These players of today um,
I yawn like
are
that.
not.
I don't even have a 4-year-old, but go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, these players of today are not. They're not that way. They, we oftentimes say, "Oh, this new generation don't act like how the old generation act." Like they got their own opinions. They know their own values. They know their self-worth. And I think the fact that Micah started feeling disrespected, it's one thing about the money. It's another thing when you start disrespecting the man, as if this man hasn't been all world from the moment that he put on a Dallas Cowboys jersey. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I've been a Pro Bowler, All Pro player from the moment that I stepped foot in the NFL for you.
I'm not even totally in my prime yet.
I'm not even in my. I'm only 26. Like he ain't even got the grown man strength yet, and he already strong. Like it's in his mind, he's like, if you're not gonna pay me, someone's gonna pay me. If you're not gonna give me my money, somebody's gonna give my money. And then it's the fact that you disrespecting me now. You're not talk. I told you talk to my agent. You won't talk to my agent. You won't. We trying to have conversation. You're not respecting me as an adult and what I'm to do, and how I'm trying to be represented. You disrespected that. So I'd rather not be in a culture like that. We saw him do it with Dak Prescott. We saw him do it with CeeDee Lamb. We saw him do it with Ezekiel Elliott. Saw him do it with Emmitt Smith. There was going to be a player that was not going to tolerate that. There was going to be a player that was not going to tolerate that. And the top 3 positions in the NFL, quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher. And you have one of the premier pass rushers entering his prime. And you disrespected him. So he was ready to be up out of there.
We play devil's advocate, and this is also the reason why Deion said no to Dallas, because he don't want you telling him what to do. He wants to do what he want to do in Colorado. You already alluded to the fact that this is a Super Bowl caliber team with the addition of Micah. They made Jaden Daniels and the Commanders work for every yard last night. Speak to the completeness. That's not a word. Speak to how complete this Green Bay Packers team looks, especially if we're playing into these superstitions. Did you know that all the great quarterbacks in Green Bay that have won the Super Bowl, they won it at age 27? Jordan Love will be 27 in November. What does this do? How you're not shocked by how complete they were, but express your thought on how complete they looked at like last night. It looked seamless.
Well, understand that these guys, one, they're growing up together. Now, Jaden Reed is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks because he broke his collarbone. So we're going to see what happens with that injury. But you got Josh Jacobs, who another one that the Raiders shouldn't. I mean, I know they got Ashton Genty. We'll see how he goes, but Josh Jacobs was another one that shouldn't have left the building for the Raiders. But he's steady. Jordan Love, you can see the talent, but you can start seeing the maturity. But the Michael Parsons effect, what it does is that it gets that offense and Matt LaFleur more bites at the apple, which makes them dangerous. So now when they play, if they can get themselves in a position where they can play to a lead, now you get to let your defense go hunt, which gives you more opportunities on offense to kind of take some chances because you have a defense that could possibly get you the ball back. So it allows you to be a little more aggressive with your play calling on offense because we got some guys, we got some dogs, and Micah brings that kind of edge. I mean, Rashawn Gary was already there, so he had it, but it's like an added edge to that defense. It's an added swagger to that defense. And you got to account for these 2 horses on either side of the ball, and their defense in general is still good, and they got a rotation. It's kind of Eagles-esque the way the Eagles defense was last year, having a rotation of guys that can create pressure, being able to do different stunts and twists and things like that. Like, this is a big advantage for Green Bay.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
No excuses here because we don't make excuses on this
We
show,
don't.
wins or losses. We don't. But the conversation of Thursday night football,
Sure.
because we've been talking about how this shouldn't even be a day for football at all, because you can't go from Sunday and then you got what, less than, it seems, what, 48 hours
Like
to
yeah,
turn it
7 yeah,
around.
72 4 hours, yeah.
You got to travel, you got to get
Hmm.
yourself in the mindset, you got to put yourself together, and then you got to
Yeah.
play another game. Is it easier though? And again, no excuses. But is it
Yeah.
easier if you're playing home games back to back on Thursday night versus if you're traveling on Thursday night?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're someone that gets on a plane often, you know what that feels like, you know, on your body, no matter how long you're on the plane. I mean, you're dealing with air pressure, altitude, and all that stuff, you know, depending on the hours of the flight. I mean, your body has to adjust, you know, afterwards. And like you said, no excuses. I mean, you know, they get paid the big bucks to be professionals, but they definitely ran into a buzzsaw. You have a defense that played at home on Sunday, playing at home. They got to, you know, they got to rest. They got to go back to their respective places without worrying about this big travel. Whereas we had to play a game. Division games are always tough. We had to play a divisional game just like they did. Divisional games are always hard no matter what. Um, and then to kind of rev yourself back up. And we were still clunky on Sunday. So it wasn't like I was going into this game with the utmost confidence of winning because our offense still has to get together. You got to understand, Debo Samuel is new. Though he's been in camp, he's still a new piece that you're trying to figure out. We, you know, Brian Robinson Jr. is now in San Francisco. We're trying to get the rookie acclimated and figure out what he likes and what he, you know, what he wants to do. Terry McLaurin, that was a big thing. I told people that was going to be a major thing, him not being in camp all summer long because waiting for his contract. So now there were some throws that Jaden Daniels did last night that normally would connect,
Yeah.
but timing was off. So that stuff, all that stuff has to, you know, has to develop. You're hoping that there's a tight end that's going to step up beyond Zach Ertz that's going to take the next step because this might be Zach Ertz last year. Now we're dealing with Austin Eckler being out for the, you know, for the season, might be career ending because it's an Achilles. So,
Yeah.
you know, so now we have to, you know, they were talking about bringing up the kid from Michigan off practice squad. We got Rodriguez, but you need some more explosiveness in that offense. And I think I said this on Wednesday to some friends of mine at work, and I said, listen, I'm not looking at the score. I'm really not expecting the Commanders to win. As a fan, of course, I want them to win every game, but I'm being realistic. I can't see how they can win based on what I saw defensively from Green Bay on Sunday, and based on what I saw offensively from us on Sunday, and that kind of proved my point. So I'm looking at it from that aspect of this was a perfect time to go up against a team like this in week 2. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what we got to hone in on both sides of the ball to go forward. Green Bay is going to be one of the tougher games that we face this season. So to
Yeah.
get it early and to understand, like, you can almost put their defense as an elite status defense. So what did our offense look like against that defense? What did our defense look like against that offense? You know, we got to kind of see all that and let them figure it out for the rest of the season. Now, it hurts that we had some injuries. I think I was seeing reports. I don't know how factual it is that they were saying that Jaden's knee. They had an MRI just to see what it was because they say he was limping a bit. But hey, they got this it's like a mini bye week. Give him a chance to rest up. Y'all know the technology he used. He doesn't necessarily have to physically be out there to get his mental reps. So let him get the mental reps while he heals, and we'll see what it looks like.
We're taking this as an assessment. Daniels was sacked 4 times, pressured literally all night. A lot had the pack winning. We took this as an assessment. A lot had the pack winning. A lot panicked early, Tristan. We know this. We were from here. There's a lot of people. I'm not going back. A lot of people saying same old Skins in prime time is not the same. Does this game have any implications on the sophomore slump, which everybody seems to be waiting for? The sophomore slump of Jaden Daniels. Does it have any implications on the issues on defense? Get Lattimore some help. Get him some safety help somewhere. Um, does it have any implications on that? A team that may have been turning heads last year. A lot of people are saying that they can't continue on this road again. It was nice, but how dare you put the Commanders at any top thing? We know for sure, and why not us? Because if you're going to keep talking about us and saying what we can't, why not us? In the same breath, last year was a slow burn. You had certain games like this. And the next thing you know, boom, 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 everything started kicking. The panic button shouldn't be hit yet, correct?
Oh, absolutely not. And I was listening to everybody today, and I was like, relax, relax, guys. It's week 2.
Yeah.
They still got to figure this out, man. You still got to figure out how to make this dangerous for Terry and Debo being on the field together. I think they got to emphasize on running the ball more. So let's put the rookie in. Y'all talked about him. Y'all raved about him all camp. Put the rookie in and give him some more touches. He had 4 touches last night. He had 4 touches, but averaged 4.3 yards a touch. Give him the ball. I don't understand why Terry didn't get more single looks and they were giving it to Noah Brown. I like Noah Brown. I know he was one of the heroes from last year with that Hail Mary catch. I get that, but Noah Brown has always been kind of inconsistent. I would have given some of those looks for Terry, and that goes back to Cliff Kingsbury and the play calling. Let's lessen this whole plays behind the line of scrimmage, all these screen plays. Let's stop doing that. Let's figure,
totally.
yeah, let's figure something else out. But again, this is a chance for the mini bye week to figure it out, and you see where you're at now when you go against one of the more established heavyweight teams. You got to understand, Green Bay's roster has been together for the most part. Ain't too many new pieces. They've been together for the last couple of years. They know how this goes. Matt LaFleur knows what makes his team tick. They know how to make each other tick. Our team is still fairly new. We're still trying to figure this out and learn together. So I don't think this is a time to panic, but I think the expectations, I kept trying to temper people. I said, listen, don't expect for us to have the season we had last year. Will we still have a winning season? Yes. Do I still think we'll get double-digit wins? Yes. But don't expect for our team to do what we did last year. One, Jane Daniels was a rookie. No one had tape on him. Didn't know he was going to explode like that. 2, we had a lot of breaks. Yeah. That Chicago game, that Hail Mary, big-time break. The Bengals game, we didn't know the Bengals defense was going to be one of the all-time worst defensive performances in the season. Had no idea about that. When we played the Lions to get to the NFC Championship, we were basically playing against second and third string on the defense side of the ball for them because all of their guys were injured and on IR. We had a lot of different breaks that worked in our favor. We took advantage of it because you can only play who's in front of you. Get that. So we took advantage of that. But we still have to temper the expectations of this season because of those breaks. Even week 1, everybody's like, oh, look at our team. Look at the defense humming along, flying around. Giants' offensive line has been terrible for years. This is nothing new. So have the expectation of trust that it's going to get better. Trust in Dan Quinn, trust in Adam Peters to build this team and build the structure that we need to go forward. We're going to get double-digit wins. I do believe that. The team is talented enough. I think they'll right the ship, but let's...
You speak all the time to the fact that last year was we were just early. We were so early on house money and learning what we were doing, but we still don't have an identity yet. And still in the concept, less is okay, but more is even better, even when you don't expect it. So, not to mention, what do you take on our decision to play zone? How is developing this defense and playing that type of defense against a team like this? I mean, you definitely saw, to your point, where you heard Dan Quinn on halftime. He sounded like he was figuring out. He sounded like he was doing in-game adjusting and saying, oh, this works, that doesn't work, this works, that doesn't work. You could see Jaden Daniels sitting on the sideline. He looked like he was screening everything, like he was taking mental notes of what this is and what that is. But on the defensive side of the ball, what do you take on the ability to play zone and how much we rely on that front four? Which should be what's the equilibrium here?
Well, I think the concern right now with the defense and the reason why they had to play zone is because Marshawn Lattimore right now is not playing like the Saints Marshawn Lattimore.
No.
Our best corner right now is a rookie
Mhm.
in Trey Amos. That was not the plan. The idea was Marshawn Lattimore got healthy, Trey Amos plays on the outside, Sandstrom plays in the slot, and everybody's solid. But because Marshawn Lattimore was getting cooked, Trey Amos actually played solid last night, and then he got hurt. Played solid, and then got hurt. Wasn't like a bad injury, but still got hurt. Couldn't really finish the game. Marshawn Lattimore was getting cooked.
Yes, and
So
to Kirk and Al at one point said he has to make these veteran adjustments. Call it like you see it. He's getting
that's right.
burned one, so when he catches up, he has to hold
And
and
he plays
grab,
and it's
and
like
then
he's
we
playing in
get
a panic.
penalties that don't work. Yes.
Yes. So that is if there had to be a red flag concern for me, it's that we traded for you, bro, to be the number one, so that the rest of them could come out. If you do what you're supposed to do, the rest of them come up, and now it makes it easy. But if you're gonna get cooked like this, it's almost like, should we put you in the slot and put Sandstrom on the outside and let Trey Amos and Sandstrom on the outside? Do we need to look at other corners now in
Yeah.
free agency, or you know what I'm saying? Like, because we traded for you, but it doesn't. Now again, he was hurt last year. He's been in camp, but he's trying to still get his legs under him as far as with this team, with this scheme. So I'm giving him a little grace. It's early, but that was not a good performance by him. Now, if Trey almost didn't get hurt, maybe the game could have been a little different. But you can't, our front seven, you can't expect. There were times where I saw Von Miller, Louisville, and them were just about to get home. But just as they were there, that ball, because Marshawn Lattimore did not cover well. You saw breaks. The safety, Martin.
Yeah.
Martin didn't. Quan Martin missed a couple of assignments and had open looks for the tight end and all that stuff. So different things happened which didn't allow our front to get home, and we don't have that premier guy that can get home in a hurry. You got to be able to kind of make the field cloudy for the quarterback just to hold it a second longer, and then they will get there. Von Miller had a couple shots at it. Deron Payne had a couple shots at it, but if Jordan Love's able to be there, see it, and just what can you do?
The front four is gonna have a long night.
It's gonna be a long night.
Well, not hitting the panic button. Let's see how.
No, it's
Let's
week
see
2.
how we go. Las Vegas looks for us.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, Austin Eckler was one of the premier running backs in the league back when he was with the Chargers. When we talk about how they were trying not to pay running backs, Austin Eckler was one of the main running backs in the conversation of saying, hey, this team has ran on my back and you don't want to pay me because you're saying we're so interchangeable. It was hard watching him go down last night. If this is season ending, he's 30. So we know the trajectory. Where are you going to go from this? Yeah, you might be. I mean, Adrian Peterson, we always talk about Tristan, there was a whole nother situation. That was a whole nother anomaly.
He's one of one.
We're not playing those games anymore. Yeah. But if this is career ending, how will you remember Austin Eckler and what he brought to the game? Shout out to Colorado.
Awesome Charger. He had a really good career. I mean, I can't say like a stamp on anything like that. He just was a really good career. I think underestimated how strong he was. One of the stronger backs in the league, even though he was known for his shiftiness and stuff. And I loved what he provided for our locker room for the short time he was here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's not going to try and go out like that, but we probably wouldn't be bringing him back next year. So it might be it for him, but yeah, also, I mean, he was awesome for Chargers. Nightmare fantasy owner's dream, because he could do a lot of things with catching the football, running between tackles, running outside. It's just unfortunate for I mean, we're not going to say career ending yet, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to try and go out like that, but it's unfortunate that his season is over on that note.
On that note, that game could to miss 2 field goals that could have added some points there. You turn around and
could have been 24-27.
You see the score. The defense just couldn't step up. You're one score away. This could have been a lot worse, but you still could have almost won the game.
Yeah,
So I
I
just thought it
think
was a little bit weird.
if it was close and Jaden had a chance to have the ball, I think we probably would have won that game. He is the kind we're fortunate.
Yeah.
We do have the guy. It's not many teams that have that guy. We do have the guy that if he has a chance at the end of the game and that ball is in his hands, he can win the game. We have no matter what happened throughout the first 3 quarters. At the end of the game, if there's a shot to win and the ball's in his hands, he's going to deliver. We are fortunate to have that kind of dude. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the kicker to be able to give us that opportunity, nor the defense to be able to stop Jordan Love. And I mean, again, this is a team that people are saying are that's the team that could beat. It's the Eagles, Packers, and the Rams. Those are the 3 teams in the NFC right now.
This little game of to be fined or to not be fined. This brother deserved to be fined. We're going to give him that. Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter is being fined by the NFL $57,222 for spitting on Dak Prescott. They also said that the game he was ejected for will also serve as a 1-game suspension.
It's
We
crazy.
all know you do something, I do something to you right now, they're going to see your reaction. The world saw his reaction. Your ass getting fined. Your ass getting kicked out of this game. And it was preposterous to see that on the first game of the season, we ain't even done nothing yet, and you already getting kicked out of the game. The question here on the fine question was, should Dak have been fined? Now we talk about a lot of people. Yes, okay, so that's easy. A lot of people are talking about, he comes out, he taunted him, but you a grown man, you got to keep that to yourself, and you got to be able to hone your emotions.
Everything when you look at all sports, everything looks worse on replay and slow mo.
Yeah.
Everything looks worse. They try to make it seem like, oh, well, Dak spit at him first. No. Dak is a known spitter. Dak spits all the time. Dak, in real time, Dak was spitting on the ground, keeping it moving. He didn't want to spit at his offensive line because they were around him. Spit on the ground and kept it moving. Jalen probably took it as him getting, like a disrespect.
Yeah.
But you spit directly on him. You can't do that, bro.
No.
You can't do that. And this is how you know the NFL really cares about the bottom dollar. Because you really gonna go tell me and make me accept that because he didn't play in the game, that constitutes that game being the game he's suspended on, instead of the game in which they're playing the Chiefs, your Super Bowl rematch. Come on now. You want everybody at full strength for that game because everybody's gonna watch. That's all.
My whole thing with Jalen is we can talk. Nobody was even talking about the accident, but we can talk about that. My thing is this is the second time. First of all, you went over there to taunt them, and somebody had to step up. That's why Dak stepped up anyway. You was trying to go after the rookie. But this is the second time that we've seen you in 2 situations where you've left a teammate behind. Your teammate had his season ended as you spit on this man.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you? You weren't even around him to rally around him your whole team was over there trying to make sure but make sure your teammate was okay. You left the scene of an accident.
Mm-hmm.
This is becoming too much of a reoccurring thing for you. You are lucky that you was even picked as an Eagle because your stock went down. You are lucky that your rookie season ended in a championship. Young man,
Mm-hmm.
where does the thinking process start, Tristan?
He young, and I know it's going to sound like a terrible thing, but he young. He's got to grow up, and I'm sure Nick Sirianni, I'm sure Jalen's proven himself to be a great leader. I'm sure he's been talked to. I'm sure there's probably some internal stuff they probably did, internal ramifications. It was stupid, but he's young. I mean, it was just stupid more because you want a player that's kind of always on edge like that, but you got to teach him how to control it. So he'll be fine. Young and dumb.
What we are is 2 episodes from 150. Episode 150. 148 people. The Jimmy Johnson edition. Shout out to NASCAR. We driving fast, okay? We mosey on right along. My apologies to him, Tristan. Just chill next time. Keep your hands to yourself. Fans, you are coming to watch them play. I don't know where this whole touching another human being, whatever you think that you can and cannot do, you didn't just touch his helmet, you mushed him. A lot of conversation today about whether or not Lamar Jackson should be fined. Hell no. Because, yeah, chill out. Respect.
I found it so funny when the guy was issuing an apology that also he had this neck brace on, and I'm like, bro, you got a neck brace on from a shove, bro? From a shove? What, are you made of glass?
You ain't even
like you didn't even fall. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But no, nothing should happen to Lamar, rightfully so. First of all, you smack me upside my head, I don't care who you are, you're gonna get shoved. I don't care who you are. But the fact that you knew it was a Buffalo Bill, you knew he was smacking their head like the. Why are you touching these guys? Yeah. Do you know that these guys are world class? These are one of ones. Why are you touching them? Unless you patting them on the shoulder like great player or whatever. But why you? What possessed you in your brain to do that?
Lamar definitely didn't give him a stand back shove. He gave. He leaned up for the shove.
Yeah. It was a shove, but rightfully so. Like, you ain't about to play me. But yeah, nothing should happen to Lamar. Nothing.
Both sides of 95 caught a stray last week, but it's okay. I don't know what I mean. Opening nights, first games of the season. It's just not the Ravens' way. Y'all just know that y'all gonna be 0-1 every year, and then you're gonna pick it up, and then. But all y'all out here trying to blame Lamar for that game, what's wrong with you? Anyways,
I don't know. The Josh Allen was just Josh Allen. There were some play calls that I didn't understand, but I don't put it on Lamar now.
And Derrick Henry typically does not fumble. If that fumble does not happen, that game is over. So we wouldn't even be sitting here talking about this. Yeah. Last but not least on our bracket, because we didn't have much to talk about because we came in the middle of the week. Right. Can you think of this, Tristan? The WNBA playoffs, they start on Sunday. The Lynx, Collier and them girls, they take on, shout out to expansion teams, okay? Because the Valkyries has shown up and shown out. Alyssa and the Mercury. Oh, are the Liberty gonna repeat? They go and they play Sab Ionescu in the crew. The Aces, number 2. They gotta play Skylar Diggins and them Storm, baby. Is it gonna rain on them?
And Skylar got to deal with Angel Wilson.
Is it gonna make it rain? The Dream, they take on a feverless team who does not have Caitlin Clark with them.
Man,
what matchup are you looking forward to seeing?
Let me say this real quick in the Caitlin Clark situation.
Yes.
This is something we need to really pay attention to. Her being hurt.
Her injury prone is crazy.
This early in her career, it's something we got to pay attention to. A lot is invested in her from the Fever to be the person, not only on the court, but off the court. Yeah. I mean, so that's something really got to pay attention to. Paige is who she is. The team got to catch up.
I'm waiting for her to get her award because she will get it, because I want us to talk about more in depth and how, fortunately and unfortunately, her rookie season went so much under. It wasn't under the radar, but you needed to be talking about her a little bit more, okay?
Because she was awesome. She was awesome.
Someone that ain't used to losing.
Exactly. But to answer your question, I'm definitely looking forward to the Aces. And Skylar, I think the reason why I'm so looking forward to that matchup is I really want the Aces to win. And it's not because of just being a casual fan or a fan of Asia Wilson, which I've been a fan of Asia Wilson, and nobody can come for me because I've been a fan of Asia Wilson since she was at South Carolina. Check me. But I felt like the year, exactly. The year she had won the, not last year, but the year before. It was the year before she won the MVP.
Yeah.
That year, I felt like she had the scoring title, the MVP, first team, and I was like, we just need the championship and let her be the Finals MVP, and we didn't get it. And I feel like she's on that kind of tear again this season, so it's got to be capped off with a chip this time. Like they should have had the three-peat, and they didn't get the three-peat. So it's like, dang, it was like let's get it for her this time, because she's on that same tier. She's right there. Same points, rebounds, blocks. Oh, she's right there again. And I felt like it was just deflated because she didn't win the championship that season. So this got to be it. But also, Skylar, being the veteran she is, I feel like she had a resurgence with the that tournament that they had before the season started, which was awesome, by the way. I hope they keep. Oh, I hope they keep that.
They're trying. The league is trying to take that from them because of,
it's crazy.
You know, they don't want that type of competition. But if you're
so
not going to pay them, and you have the nerve to not like Unrivaled,
because it was so
but it's
good.
a business now.
So good. It was so good. Yeah. But I felt like that gave a resurgence for Skylar, and it also reminded everybody who Skylar Diggins was and is coming out of Notre Dame. So I'm a little torn, but that's the game I want to see. I already know Sabrina gonna do her thing. I ain't worried about the Liberty over there. Sabrina gonna do her thing, but this is the game I want to see.
Speaking of Unrivaled, they already have pictures of Flo J, AZ. Coming into the next.
Absolutely. Oh, they should. They should do it. Why not? It gives them a prep to kind of.
I don't want Dallas to get the number one pick. I don't want AZ going.
Oh,
okay. I want her to have her own team. And
I got
come
you.
Come on. I get it.
But AZ, the way she playing, and then shout out to Juju. We still praying for your recovery. We can't wait to see you back on the court, girl.
College football with Tristan. Northwestern Oregon, that's looking kind of good for Big Saturday at noon. What are you thinking this weekend, Tristan? How did you enjoy last weekend?
So I was a little disappointed with the QBs, and I'm just hoping that it kind of ramps up, because this is supposed to be this upcoming NFL draft next year. It's supposed to be a real good showcase with QBs, but all the QBs did not perform well that I expected to perform well. I am a little concerned about Arch Manning and his shoulder. Yeah. I'm not sure how that looks. I'm excited for the kid Sellers out of South Carolina. He is a stud. I mean, it's like almost like another Cam Newton type of dude, like size, strength, throwing ability. Like he's nice. I don't know what's going on with Alabama. This is still in the year where they're like some of the schools are playing like some of the lower tier schools as far as their competition. And so people were talking about like Alabama bounce back, but like it's like, but who did they play? Let's see them go against someone again and see how that looks. Don't know how Michigan has to really kind of strike it now, because the punishment that they got, I can see why Jim Harbaugh got up out of there. It's gonna be hurting for next couple of years, losing all those scholarships and stuff like that. So Ohio State is Ohio State. I think Ohio State should probably be the favorite, probably be number one right now. I mean, defensively, I'm still not sold on their quarterback, but he's young. We'll see how he develops. But I mean, he's got studs around him on the offense, and the defense, still plays lights out. Like you said, the Oregon looks great, and I was kind of curious of how that was going to be. But Oregon looks great, so this should be an exciting weekend. But I'm really, I pay attention to the quarterbacks heavy, so I want to see how they look this weekend for sure, to see if maybe it might have been just first game jitters or whatever. But there's a couple names, and as the college season goes, there's a couple names I'm going to bring up as far as for what teams should look out for in the NFL draft. Miami Dolphins should look out for as far as quarterbacks for next year's draft. So
I'm gonna give you my last thing on this whole thing. I'm gonna give you 3 words to describe the Clippers. What the hell? And that's all I'm gonna say about the Clippers.
If
That's all I'm gonna
this,
say.
if this, and
I would
we'll probably
prefer
talk
you
about it
go.
later. Yeah,
Yeah, I want more to develop on this.
yeah. If more, but if it develops the way I think it might, the way some stuff might be. Oh, I don't know what Bomber going to do. If it develops the way it looking like it might develop, whoo, this is this is gonna be epic. We might have to do like a in breaking show or something because the punishment will be, whoo, it'll be massive. It'll be
Why are you
massive.
even involved?
I don't know. I don't know.
When you're not
Were you
even
that greedy?
playing,
Were you
like
that greedy? Were you that greedy?
the Olympics, like what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't
I
understand.
don't. I don't
I don't get it.
understand.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Texas taking a lot of L's. Damn, Arch, Luca, Micah.
Texas hurting right now. They hurting. They hurting
really
right now.
killing that heat, ain't they?
And listen. It's a bad day to be a Texas person. I tell you.
I don't want to be a Texan. Anyways, we join you next week, a little bit earlier, but we join you next week. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be 1 episode away from 150. We gotta cook something up. Who we gotta bring on? We gotta start commemorating these things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
Be sure to share. Look, we're looking to ramp this show back up. Y'all gonna see some new things coming out. So be sure to share because we ramping this thing back up.
And like I say it every week, I don't care if it doesn't rhyme. It's still mine. It feels so good to be back home. I'm doing this in the nation's capital. Can you smell the mumble sauce wherever you are? If you don't, I'll tell you about it later. I'm Mikkel, like Kevin McKell America. Have a good night. Peace.